Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, why does Solana keep going higher? This seems to be the one altcoin that doesn't want to take a breather, doesn't want to come down, and it just keeps going. And there's actually news on why it's going up. So let's discuss why Solana keeps pumping higher. And what about Bitcoin? What's going on with Bitcoin and crypto overall? Well, let's discuss. So, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, articles, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed last night's DCA, which we covered. Which would you rather buy, Cardano or Solana? Today is looking like Solana. Hey, and that was my pick for this week. I'm like, I'm going to back this horse to the moon, and it's looking like it's a good pick. So hopefully you guys tuned in for that, but let's get started here. Flipping my screen. I turned on my fan because it's quite hot in here. Bitcoin is a little bit lower than yesterday, 48.2. It came down a little bit, but overall still kind of going sideways. But you know what? What didn't go down? What didn't go down is Solana. And you may have guessed that because it pumped up another 15% out of the blue. It seemed like out of the blue. It's around 106. It formed a new high. And it's looking like it wants to continue higher. Remember, I've been saying, a lot of people have been thanking me because I did cover Solana, I think, back in April or March when it was like $20-something. So it's been up 500% since then. But, you know, I've been telling you guys recently, due to the market cap gap between Cardano and Solana, I'm like, hey, Solana has at least a 3x to go, even short term. He's looking at 30 billion versus 90 billion. Right, Solana could be right under, or at very least at where BNB is, right? And it just seems like it wants to get there in a real quickly, real rush for whatever reason. But there may be something that explains that. Besides the fact that it's a very fast, promising chain, Sam from Alameda FTX is backing them. You have a lot of NFTs that's exploding. Besides all those things, there may be something else that is coming. And that is this. Ignition. Out of the blue, the Solana team just tweeted out that tomorrow there is some big event called Ignition. And we don't know what it is yet. It says the sky's the limit. What will you launch August 31st to October 8th? Now, most likely, this is probably some kind of incubator or some kind of event, a hackathon or something that's going to generate more buzz, get more dApps, you know, to come on board. That's what's most likely this event is about. But a lot of people are theorizing that there may be a huge token burn event, which already occurs. Solana, their token economics is a little bit different. They have about 500 million tokens out there that is supposed to inflate, but they also have deflationary aspects to it where SOL tokens do get burned. So overall, they're still hovering around that 500 million mark. But there's rumors, speculations that tomorrow there may be some big burn event that is announced during Ignition, among other things. We don't know, right? So I think this is what's driving Solana up today. It's just, you know, people are excited and people want to know what's going on. And recently we have seen the same thing with Cardano, with announcements, pre-announcements of announcements, and they have been by the rumor and even by the news, because Solana, after it was announced that September 7th or 12th is when, you know, Goguen was going to be finished and smart contracts are going to come out, it still continued to go up. In fact, if you look at Cardano, it's not very far off from its previous high of 296. It's sitting just a little bit below that, right? So right now, we're definitely in we're definitely in a bull run. This is why altcoins continue to go higher and higher and higher. And guess what? Speaking of Cardano and Charles, look at this. Charles himself is so fascinated with Solana. He even tweeted out at the guy saying, "Where can I learn more?" And of course, Raj, one of the co-founders of Solana, actually replied, said, "Hey, our DMs are open." Interesting that even Charles himself cannot contain himself and is now reaching out to the team, wondering what the hell is going on. Why is this project so darn hot right now? So very, very, very interesting. All right, so that's Solana, why it keeps going up. There's many reasons for that, but right now this new Ignition event is pretty big. A lot of people are hopeful that there could be some big burn event among whatever else they're going to announce. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now, I did want to address something because yesterday during DCA and today, some people are trying to now hate on Solana because they're trying to protect Cardano or whatever reason. I never said you can't own both. In fact, I argue that you should own both, but it seems like people always try to bring down whatever's hot at the time. So I saw some people say, hey, you know, Solana is so much more centralized than Cardano. So I was looking at it. If you look at Solana's validators, about 917 validators on the mainnet, which is a respectable number. Obviously not nearly as low as, say, EOS's 23 block producers or Neo's 100 or something. So it's a respectable number. If you look at Cardano, which is about 2,800 pools, so yeah, that is about 3 times as much, right? But overall, 1,000 isn't too bad in terms of a proof-of-stake coin. A lot of people say Solana sacrificed decentralization for speed. Well, I'd say, you know what? Anyone could jump in and become a validator. It's not like you can't become a validator. So I would say, yeah, Cardano, if you look at number of pools versus validators, yes, there's plentiful. But this isn't too bad either. This isn't nearly, like I said, as bad as EOS or Neo or some of the other guys where they only have a handful of main nodes or block producers. All right, so there's that. Now, what else is there? Well, what about what's going on with other projects? Is there anything else? Well, what about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin continues, like I said at the beginning. It's just doing its thing. It's up and downs. The whales could do their whatever market predictions. But, you know, yesterday I said that if you look at the weekly chart, right now, Bitcoin is looking like the same exact point that we experienced right around the November-December timeframe. So look at over here. When Bitcoin went from 10,000 to about 19,000, right under that 20,000 mark, which people thought there's no way Bitcoin could break through. Well, guess what? Bitcoin went up about 76%, took a breather for about a week, and then started going higher. And I said, hey, look at where we are now. It looks very, very similar because from bottom to where we are, about 76% growth. But today, I found something that actually correlates with that. So none of this is a coincidence. So I saw this, according to new data, there's 2x the number of calls over puts, okay? So whenever you have a lot of calls, meaning that people just are anticipating that Bitcoin's going to go higher, that's a very bullish sign. And in fact, this ratio is the lowest since December of 2020. What happened during December 2020? Well, this happened, right? There was a breather, and then Bitcoin went up 124%. Exactly at that time frame. Exactly at that time frame. So this correlates to what I was saying. And in fact, someone right below said, hey, for lazy people, if you don't know what that means, this is what it means, right? This point on the left side is when Bitcoin took that breather around November, December timeframe. Then it went up 124%. And we are right at that point. So again, we have some other data that's showing, hey, Bitcoin is about to make a big move. Big move. Of course, there's other indicators that show very similar moves. But yeah, we could be gearing up for a gigantic, 100 and what is it, 124% rise. And where would that put us? Let's just say we're right where we are now. We go up 124%. That would put Bitcoin right around $110,000. So 6 figures, 100K, I do believe is definitely coming around the corner. Have some patience, guys. Have some patience. Stay in the game. Don't get frustrated. Not that you should be frustrated at 50,000 Bitcoin. No one should be frustrated at 50,000 Bitcoin. Even if you bought at 64, you should not be frustrated at 50,000 Bitcoin. But for everyone else that bought below, this is perfectly fine as we continue higher, right? So I like it. I like it a lot. What else is there? I saw this. Now, some of you guys may have noticed that this another project called Celo shot up 100% today. People always want to know why something shot up 100%, because they want to FOMO in, and that's not what you want to do. You never want to FOMO into a project that just got up 100%. But this is the reason why. This is actually pretty big news. You have some of the biggest DeFi projects out there. Aave, SushiSwap, Curve, 0x, some things called Pool Together, among others, is going to come out with a $100 million grant or incentive to educate people and other projects about decentralized finance. And they're doing this on the Celo network, which is a payment network. And it's just a global initiative to get people involved. It's interesting that out of all these projects, right, they decided to build this on Celo and have this within the Celo ecosystem, which is a very backed project, by the way. But, you know, most of these projects are multi-chain. It's interesting that they decide not to go with, say, Ethereum or Polygon or even Solana. They decided to pick Celo. But this is the reason why. This is the reason why it shot up like 100%. Now it's coming down. Again, should you FOMO into something that's gone up 100%? No. You should not. You should not, right? You always want to wait for things to come down or buy them before they go up 100%. But this is the reason why Celo went up today. I mean, outside of that, I mean, besides Solana going up, you know, to the moon, another project, Terra, you know, not as high today, but Terra is one I've been talking about too. You know, they're doing well, up 4%, up 21%, 22% for the week. They continue to head higher. I do think at their market cap of 14 billion, can they double to where Solana is now? Yes, they certainly could. So I think they're fantastic project, continue holding. But overall today, you can see some red, but not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 5% because Bitcoin fall, but you still have some good movers. Elron shot up today. A lot of you guys are Elron fans. I don't know what happened to Elron, but they shot up 20% today. Wave shot up 12% today. Could just be they're coming in waves right now, or there could be some big NFT that's going on. Drop, I don't know, but there are still some good movers today. Overall, Bitcoin dominance, you could see, also dropped below 43%, 42.57. That shows you. I think most of that is due to Solana, because Solana is now to a point where it's such a big market cap. If it continues to pump like this, it's going to have effect on Bitcoin dominance. Like the other smaller plays, if they pump, it doesn't really have effect. But when any of these big caps pump, they do have effect. They do have effect. All right, so that's going on. Lastly, I guess that's really it. Before Q&A, I have a new sponsor for today, and for those of you guys that love the second most popular sport in the world, and I think a lot of you guys can't guess which sport that is. Happens to be cricket. Yes, soccer is #1, or football, depending on where you live. But #2, which isn't far off, is cricket. So this project is all about cricket, and they're basically doing what NBA Top Shots is doing. They're doing their own NFTs based on some of the hottest players in cricket and the major leagues of cricket. So they're called Rario, okay? And basically, it works exactly the same way. There's pack drops that you can, you know, try to get. We know NBA Top Shots have been unbelievable, huge success right? And that's what Rario is trying to do with a sport that's actually even bigger, right? So they launched recently, and there's more packs. So for example, the next drop is going to be on September 5th. So if you want to get notified, you could definitely do so. But basically, it's the same way. You buy digital packs and you get NFTs. And what do you do with those? Well, you can simply hold them, or you can sell them and trade in their marketplace, which is also coming in the near future. But you could see the last few that came out all sold out. 10,000 packs, $10 each, all out. $50 pack, 500, all out. Here's a $500 pack, 100 each, or 100 packs, $500 each, I should say, all sold out. So this could be huge. Of course, in the NFT space, already huge. And they are partnered up with some big players. First of all, they are built on Polygon. So Polygon has a really deep relationship with them. In fact, the CEO of Polygon, or the founder of Polygon, have been talking about Rario for quite some time. But besides Polygon, Animoca Brands, which is a big NFT player, is also invested in Rario. Peter Thiel Capital is invested in Rario. So there's a lot of big investors out there. And besides that, what about the leagues? Some of the biggest leagues, Caribbean Premier League and Lanka Premier League, they are joined up with Rario. They have exclusive licensing rights, so no one else can come out with NFTs based on these leagues. And there's a lot of players that are already signed up too. I don't know. I'm not a cricket guy, so I don't know who these people are, but there are a lot of famous cricket players that's also involved with Rario. So there you go. The world's biggest cricket NFT play, I would say. If you're interested, check them out. Their URL is in the description of this video. All right, guys. Now let's do some Q&A. Man, it is hot in my room. It is hot in here. John asked, I saw a video from you 6 months ago about TrueFi. I still have the same thoughts. Nothing has changed. The project has continued to execute on uncollateralized loans. Now they just have more traction because they got added on Coinbase. And they got a huge investment from A16 and others. So still the same. I like the project. These projects don't change that often. I think, people get spoiled by the fact that I stream twice a day, but, projects take time to develop. They don't always have like some major development every week or every month, right? Obviously, you have to wait. These guys are executing, but it takes time. So anyways, I like TrueFi. Rob, yes, I think I'm gonna win that bet too. I forgot who I chose. Solana. You chose Cardano. Who? What is it? James picked Engine, which already blew up yesterday. I don't know if Engine did anything today. They're still at 4%. We'll see. Could be a tight race. I mean, who knows? Cardano could be flipping to green in the next 5 minutes or next hour. Who knows? Better to stake VET on Crypto.com and earn 3%, or stake in a wallet and earn 1%. VThor, which is a better long-term play. I changed my mind on VThor. I used to like VET a lot better than VThor, but now I think it's best to hold both because VThor is used for transactions, and as VeChain's transactions continue to rise, VThor is definitely necessary. So both of them are good. Now, whether or not you should stake in Crypto.com or in the wallet, it's really up to you, right? Obviously, if you stake in the wallet, you're powering the network, you're helping the network. For Crypto.com, I don't know what they're doing to give you higher interest, but they're a legit project, so it's really up to you. Crin, thank you. Although it's a small project, could you look at ADAX? Not ADA. How small is this project? Seemed like it's pretty small. Has been pumping recently. State-of-the-art decentralized exchange protocol. Automated liquidity pool that facilitate trades within the Cardano ecosystem. I have looked at this before. Cardano ERC20 converter. They already have their own ERC20 converter. I mean Cardano. So basically, they want to be. I don't know, a DEX basically, right? For Cardano, that's what they want to be. None of this could happen, okay, Rebecca. None of this could happen until Goguen is done. So we'll see what happens after Goguen is done. Do you think it's a good idea to put a small amount in Bittrex stagnant coins from 2018? They will more than 100x if we reach all-time high again. No, that's not a good idea. A lot of them will not do 100x. Some that catch fire will, and it could be random, but I like to think the ones that catch on fire are the ones that have been executing, and maybe they do something that makes them to catch on fire. But if you're just buying random stagnant coins from 2018, that's a sure way to lose money. In your opinion, top 3 payment providers long-term and top 3 DEXs long-term. Top 3 payment providers. I mean, that's a hard question to ask. You know why? Because even Bitcoin could be a payment provider with Lightning Network. And that's what Jack and others are trying to build. So it's tough to say that. And you have dedicated payment providers like Celo's one of them that I mentioned. Cody's another one. But, I mean, any of these guys could really be payment providers, even though it may not be optimal for it. But, I don't know. AMP is in that space, obviously. And also ACH, Alchemy Pay is in that space. So it's tough to say. It's tough to say. But I do like, as a small cap play, I like Alchemy Pay. I think that could still blow up. In terms of top 3 DEXs, I don't really pay attention to DEXs. I just use them. Uniswap, SushiSwap, PancakeSwap. These are all fantastic ones. What do you think about Arweave? I do like Arweave. Out of all the decentralized storage plays, I like Arweave the best because they're being carried by Solana. They provide storage for Solana, and because of that, they have been going up, been carried by them. But overall, even before that, they were just promising. I like them. That's actually one of the projects I invested. I did invested into their ICO back in 2017. Unfortunately, I sold way too early. I sold them around $4. I got in, I forgot what the ICO price was, like 10 cents or something. And then when they were coming up, I sold them at $4, and then now I missed out on $55. But I still do think they're the best. What happened to Jordan? I don't know. What happened to Jordan? You say that as something happened. I don't know. Did something happen to him? What else is there? Gankman. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why, right? I talk about a lot of projects I don't own, and a lot of projects I think, if you just think about it, based on several factors, why they should do well, right? Arweave is one I've been talking about for a while, based on that Solana partnership. 420, thank you. Your portfolio, what about DCA Comey right now? I may. You have to see what happens. Jesse says, I need help. I'm FOMOing. Sometimes FOMOing works. I'll tell you that. I mean, I stress not to FOMO because that's a safer bet. Because most likely, if you FOMO in something that, like, for example, Celo that went up like 100% today, it's not going to usually end well. Because after something goes up that much, it comes down. You could see it's starting to come down already, right? Negative 5%. And it has come off from its, I don't know, $10 top, right? So you don't want to FOMO in like that. But For something like Solana, where I tell you guys, hey, wait for a breather, wait for a flat period, right? That, you could argue, is kind of FOMOing because you're still buying on the way up. That is much safer. And you know what? On good projects, like something like Solana, I think that could work well. And in fact, it has worked well because I have myself DCA'd into it while it's been going up, and it has still been doing fantastic. So I guess there's different kind of FOMOs, right? So it depends. Bob Dole says, I'm finally a whole coiner. I own 1 BTC. Congratulations. Should I DCA Solana next, or is it too high? I think I just answered that question, so hopefully that helps you. When is Dot and Link going to pump? You know what? They're gonna have their days, okay? They're gonna have their days. Don't worry about it. Hold on to them. They're both fantastic. Chainlink, to be honest, is a lot more, has been more stagnant than I anticipated. I thought Chainlink would be coming up a little bit more, but you know what? Don't get their moment. Just like Polygon will get their moment, VeChain will get their moment, right? These are great projects. And you just got to wait. Like Avalanche just had a great moment. They were stagnant for so long. And then they rewarded 240% for those that held, right? So sometimes you just got to be patient. Someone says Phantom up 69%. Something huge must have happened. Yes, 70%. I told you guys about Phantom too. I don't talk about it too much, but when I talk about EVM compatible chains, the two is Harmony and Phantom. And Phantom caught on fire. I don't know what happened today. I don't know what happened, but something made them catch on fire. So good for them. What else is there? Can you look at UFO token? No, I'm not going to look at UFO token. That just sounds bad. It just sounds bad. Any reason for Harmony pump? Did Harmony also go up today? Let's see. Yeah, 11%. Not bad. They're not back to their high yet, but you know what? They could be gearing up to do so. This is why you got to have patience. Good projects, they always do well. Jeff, thank you. Continue to hold or dump VeChain. Nah, dumping is not advised, but holding, yes. Maybe if you want to reallocate some of that, right? That's okay, but dumping is not a good strategy. Usually when you dump, you know what happens? The second you dump, it starts going up, and then you really regret it. That's what happens. I have no idea what AAPX is. AmpNet? They're not doing well. Too small to look at it right now. Change ETH for Solana. I've heard many people say that they want to change ETH. You know, it's been stagnant. Recently, it's been mimicking Bitcoin. It hasn't done much. It just goes up and down and up and down and doesn't seem to make any traction. Well, keep in mind, right? Not too long ago, it was back at 1800. So that's still around double where that was. And recently, it did get a good pump because of EIP 1559 and token burning and all that enthusiasm, right? As we get towards the end of the year, we may see another significant pump because of Ethereum 2.0. In fact, last night, those of you guys that caught it, James from Invest Answers says he's willing to bet $100,000 that Ethereum will triple to 10,000 before Cardano triples to $9. Oh, I was so tempted to take that. I did not think that. I am 99% sure. Keep in mind, my sources are right 60% of the time, where they're right every time. So my source is telling me that Cardano's going to hit $9 way before Ethereum hits 10,000. I really, really want to take that bet. But you know what? 100K is a lot of money. I didn't want to risk that. But I do think that Cardano is going triple before Ethereum. But who knows? Ethereum may have its moment and really shoot up towards the end of the year because of Ethereum 2.0. So we'll see. We'll see. What's your thoughts on taking half your position out when a coin doubles so you have free position? Yeah, that's rule number one. Rule number one when it comes to profit taking. You take out your initial investment, and usually you do that after it doubles. Then you're playing with house money. So even if it goes to zero, you're not going to lose anything. But with that house money, it could still continue to go forward. What do you do afterwards? Well, then you decide. Every time it goes up 50% or 100%, take out 10%, 20% while it keeps going up, right? So I told you guys, after Bitcoin breaks above 64, makes a new high at 70, you know, and keeps going, I plan on taking more profits, 10% off the top while it keeps going higher. I just want to make sure I have a significant amount of cash on the side so that if a correction comes again, that I could take advantage. That's really the only point. Otherwise, if you believe in Bitcoin, you believe in Ethereum, Cardano, or Solana, you just continue holding, right? But I do think it's advantageous to buy those dips, and you can make quite a lot with it, but you got to have the cash on the side to be able to do that. And one way to do that is by profit taking. ETH fees is outrageous. It is. That's why this token burning is so genius, because I think Vitalik and team knew that. Look at it. It's burning at almost 8 ETH per minute right now. In the last 24 hours, 6.32. There's definitely a lot of congestion going on right now. By the end of the year, we're going to have over 1 billion ETH burn. And $1 billion worth of ETH burn, I should say. It is working like clockwork. Unfortunately, it's not helping with congestion, but that's where ETH 2.0 will help with that. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Overall, you know what? Bitcoin came down a little bit, but can we see this 124% pump coming in the near future? Yes, all signs point to it. If you look at fractal patterns, you look at everything else that's going on, the number of addresses going up, number of calls versus puts, and every single measurable metric, I forgot this, you look at all the buying, this is whale buying, and this is retail buying. You look at everything, it's going up, right? This is going to have effect on the price. The whale whatever manipulation going on right now is going to be cracked, and we will see 100,000 by the end of the year at the very least. But in the meantime, enjoy your altcoin gains, such as Solana. It just keeps giving and giving and giving and giving. And we'll see what happens with Ignition tomorrow. This could be a huge event. It could be buy the rumor, buy the news, and pump up Solana even more. I think Solana has a ton of potential, and keep going. We will see what happens. Jordan hasn't streamed for a while. I have not noticed. You know what? I don't know what happened to him. ADA will be minimum at $10 on December 31st. I think that's very doable. I think that's very doable. If the market goes up as much as 2017, it could be way past $10. Does NFT market also work in cycles? I don't know, because it's too new. It's too new. We had NFTs in 2017. No one cared for it. Now, the start of NFTs, right? Who knows how big it could become. So, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. See you tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, all right?